dicks. They're men of skin with a got no hips. They're men of dicks with opinions. And now let's start the show.
I do a lot of those types of noises, like huh.
Yeah, man. So let's get right into it. We did video game voiceovers. We signed NDAs.
NDAs, baby.
So we can't tell you, but it's going to be a major AAA video game.
AAA video game.
Major release, 2 voices. You're going to hear us. We stretched, both of us can maybe do 2 voices apiece, and we're asked to do probably between like 6 and 11 voices.
Yes.
And so you're going to hear the same voices over and over and over.
Oh, look at you.
Now I'm a big guy. Now I'm a little guy.
Don't touch my gun.
By the way, did you have to... I got the most challenging one that I had never thought about was they said, okay, make a sound like you just got shot. And I was like, ugh. And they're like, okay, now make a sound like you just got stabbed.
Yes.
Do you have 2 different sounds for that?
That was so difficult. Like, I also had the same thing, and that's how I lost my voice.
Oh, yeah?
Because it's like...
that was just them torturing you. Yeah, you got shot again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again.
Okay,
and again.
now with like a machine gun... one is a more accidental, cleaning the gun goes off. Now you have to do more of a...
You finish the suicide note. You're listening to music.
You're listening to It'll End in Tears, and it's time. Yeah, that was deeply difficult to do because it is like you said, oh, do this. Okay, I can make that noise. Okay, now do another one and do 15 more. And now do 3 more for a different character.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how does that character
now
get
you
shot?
have to do an Italian man who got stabbed.
Oh, mamma mia!
My guts!
I'm leaking pizza sauce! For being Italian, I do the absolute worst.
No, you'll never do worse than Lady Gaga in the Gucci
Oh
movie.
my God, yes, dude. I have this. This might be a good moment to open a new segment called Nate's Shameful Admissions.
Nate's Shameful Admissions.
I was in a grocery store yesterday and heard a song that was like chilling me. I liked it so much that I stood next to the milk and I frantically downloaded Shazam on my phone to try
buy some milk.
Yeah, to try and fucking figure out what this song was. And I Shazam it, and it says Lady Gaga Abracadabra.
Oh,
and
I know it well. Petra loves it.
And I'm like, no, that's not the song. It must not have gotten it.
Oh, it's glitching.
And so I Shazam it again, Lady Gaga Abracadabra, and then right after I get it the second time, and I'm still doubting the veracity of this. Like, maybe it's hearing the hum of the refrigeration or something like that. Then I hear her go, Abracadabra.
No!
No!
I just like the hum of the refrigeration.
It makes me Shazam, I think, that's a reason I don't have it on my phone generally, is it makes me feel so uncool and gives me so much shame.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with listening to Lady Gaga, whatever.
Yeah.
But now I can't be on a high horse about it.
Yeah.
I can't just make fun of her or be like, no, she makes CVS music. I don't know it. Like, no, I actively like that song.
Yeah, it's grocery store milk music, and I love it. It's my music.
This is milk music. Daddy's ready to milk.
Yeah, I've heard that album many times because it's like one of the ones Petra plays in the car a lot. And yes, actually, some of the songs on there almost sound like Nine Inch Nails. So
there is a moment in pop right now, or maybe over the last 10 years as well, where it's not Dominic Furnow, but there's like definitely a lot of like.
Dude, if I find out that Prurian is like producing pop hits, I actually will not be surprised anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and start by introducing the pod.
Oh, wow. That was truly an oversight.
Yeah.
I'm not against it anymore.
I know you have no problem against it. You're not insulted by intros anymore.
Yeah.
You seemed like you were getting sour on them. But I love them, man. I love a good intro.
No, absolutely.
Sometimes I'll listen to a podcast, they'll say their name, I'll nod my head, turn it off.
Shut it down.
But this is Loose Lips. I'm David.
And I am Nate.
You are Nate. And you are Nate.
And I am
You sound
Nate.
a little defensive about it.
Oh, man. I went through a really nice drive last weekend.
Yeah.
I was so cooked from the wedding festivities. David and I went to a mutual friend's wedding last weekend. Really just an all-out... when you mix like a little bit more money than most people probably spend on their wedding with boundless creativity, it really does create a pretty special. Like I can see why people like weddings. Yeah, it was like it's also probably the fact that we're all like nearing 40 or over 40. Yeah. But it is one of the few events that I've been to in the last 25 years that at the end of it, it's like, oh, did anybody take pictures? No. Yeah. There's no photos. Yeah. There's no, other than the hired wedding photographer, there is no photo record that this
I was enjoying it. Yeah. No phones inside.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, so there was behind the scenes controversy with this wedding in that it was going to be a like traditional Indian, like Hindu style wedding, and they heavily encouraged wearing like the appropriate Indian clothing. And of course, as a white guy, it's like, wait, can I? Like, am I allowed to? I mean, you're telling me to. I guess I should. Like,
you're giving me the pass.
Would I be rude if I wasn't? Like, right. And so, asked around, decided like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna go do it. I went to the fashion district and found an Indian store where an Indian person looked at me, saw my color, and was like, I will gladly sell this to you. So I was like, I got the receipt. I got proof.
It was officially sold.
This was sanctioned.
Can you sign this, please, sir?
And wore like traditional Indian garb. And I got to say, I got there and some of her Indian relatives were just wearing like a Western style suit. And I was like, wait.
Yeah. The tables got quickly turned.
Yeah. God, I got my face.
I also did the same thing. And for a while, I was very confident in my decision to just go, I'm going to wear Western clothing. Yeah. I'm going to dress nice because, it's two art people getting married. So there's going to be cool outfits, and cool outfits were encouraged regardless. Yeah. So, I thought I could wear something a little funky. And then I ended up watching the rehearsal with them, actually, and talked about it more and decided, you know what? I'm gonna dive in, and I'm gonna get the full on. Actually, I don't remember what the name of the outfit is. Let's see. Can I find it very quickly? But I got the long shirt, like you had the long shirt.
Yeah, the long shirt.
And I got the pants, and I got the scarf. The scarf couldn't cut it. I had to get rid of the scarf.
Mine came with pants that I nixed because they were like full on Aladdin pants.
Yes, I felt the same. They were big, kind of wide hipped. Yeah. Short at the bottom. Yeah. Kind of. It just didn't. I wore them. Oh yeah. And I got to tell you, there's a learning curve. I don't know if you had this situation, but the long shirt. Yeah. There's a learning curve to peeing in the long shirt.
I just like held it up with my teeth like a 6-year-old.
I have a bad habit of looking at my phone while I pee.
Oh, you need two hands on the apron.
And yeah, I nearly dropped the long shirt.
I don't know how you look at your phone while you pee. Like, I'm not that coordinated.
Well, because I drop my pants to the ankles.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't have to worry about it.
Pee splashing everywhere. You're 6 feet like my teacher.
Yeah. But it was also had really deep, hard to get pockets. So I went to pee. I pull the long shirt up. I pull the pants don't have the general zipper opening. So I had to pull them down a little bit. Yeah. So I had elastic kind of cupping the balls, and then the shirt's up, and then I still took my phone out to look at fucking Google. I don't know, what are people saying about the new Superman movie or whatever the fuck. And as I was doing that, I caught the phone on the bottom of the extra long shirt and knocked it out of my hand.
Oh no.
And thankfully, like in a weird Spider-Man style reaction, I drop the shirt and grab the phone, but then I'm about to piss the shirt. And so then I have to pull the shirt back up.
This is like the Matrix.
Yeah. And then I have to pinch myself off internally.
Yeah.
Because then
internal pinch.
The pant is going to pop back up over.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Wow.
I could not. I wish somebody would have taped me doing it.
That was amazing.
I've never been that coordinated in my entire life. No piss on the shirt.
Worst case scenario would have been phone covered in piss, shirt covered in piss.
Right. And that, dude,
you got neither.
Split seconds away from it.
Yeah.
So then I was on my high horse, like, oh, I get this shit.
I'm a god.
I am a god now. And I felt that way until I went out on the dance floor to cut a rug and didn't realize that Indian silk is a different type of silk than other silks that I'm more familiar with. Mm-hmm. And I got runner's nipples, dude.
Oh.
I was dancing to, I don't know, Common People or something. And all of a sudden, I was like, dude, I am in serious pain. And
were you bleeding through?
I was bleeding, dude.
Oh.
I was bleeding through. And then I felt bad because I did return the outfit. I did return it.
The 2 red circles.
And it was funny because I was not going to return it because I'm like, I spilled some food on it. I also stank it up.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm not going to return this. I'm just going to hold on to it. And maybe I'll go to another wedding at some point. But then when I busted them nips,
yeah,
it was like, dude, I can't keep this.
Let Bezos have
it's
it back.
It's too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I got mine through Amazon because I just know the place in the fashion district definitely would not take it back.
No, you're not taking that big.
He's like, yeah, you're good for Indian weddings for life. So
yeah.
Don't worry about it, dude. I know, just so I get my money's worth, I need to start like becoming friends with more Indian people, especially if they're in a serious relationship.
Yes. You need to search these people out.
Yeah. I need to get some use out of this.
In bed now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely, now having done it though, I gotta say, dude, it
was awesome.
Yeah, it was more comfortable than a normal wedding outfit.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
The only part of my body outside of my nipples that was uncomfortable was my feet, and my feet were wearing normal Western shoes.
Yeah, I can't actually complain also because my one wedding suit I can barely fit into anymore, so I had to get something.
Buying something.
I had to get something anyway, and also I kind of prefer it because it's like bright colors with like patterns better than just like a boring old suit.
Yes.
So
yeah. There's not in the Western world. There's not a lot of difference between a wedding and a funeral.
Yeah,
that's why they made the movie. 4 weddings, funeral.
4 weddings, 1 funeral. There,
yeah.
I think that was a math problem. 4 weddings equals 1 funeral.
1 funeral. Let's see. Do we have other?
Oh yeah. Let's see. There was some. Okay, well, here's some topics submitted from you, which you can submit them to us at patreon.com/looselips.
Patreon.com/looselips. You gotta do it.
At Benji gives us learning a trade. Something I wish I did.
Same.
Yeah. My dad tried desperately because my dad works in heating and cooling, and my whole childhood he was like, oh, you got to learn a trade. And I just didn't want to do that at the time, and so I didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
Also, my dad's a bad teacher, and I don't think I could have learned.
Right.
But I definitely have those, I think, and I get it from my dad too, is like, I'm not very good at having a boss. Like, I really don't like having people tell me what to do. And that's the one thing that seems really nice about a trade is like, to a certain extent, the customer's your boss.
Right.
But after they tell you, like, fix my air conditioner, you can go show up when you want to, make sure it's done. As long as it's done in a reasonable time, you don't have someone breathing over your shoulder. And if a person's a shitty customer, they won't be there on the next job.
Right. Yeah, you can tell them to fuck up.
Yeah.
You never have to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was younger, my cousin, I had like a cool cousin who married into my family. And I had like a huge like coolness crush on him. Like I really wanted to be Mark Cahayan. And he was in a cool band, but he also was a hairstylist. And at the time I thought, oh dude, that's the way, man. Because then you make the money doing the hairstyle so you can pursue the dream, you know?
Yeah.
And just in case, because, you and I both grew up in kind of the lower end of the socioeconomic bracket. Like, it was never a consideration that you should just 100% go for your dreams and have nothing else to rely on.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I tried to do that, but I wound up really broke.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't work. Like, so if no one can infuse you with money, it doesn't work. So I really wished I would have done that. But then like years later, I saw him and he was like, dude, worst thing I ever did, learn to cut hair because I should have been more focused.
Oh.
So I don't think there's a big win there, but man, would I love a trade right now? Yes.
Yeah.
Because also like,
although filmmaking is a trade, I mean, it's like a union business, and I have learned certain skills in it. It's just a trade that's not hiring right now.
It's a trade that's bad. Yeah. Like that was kind of what I was realizing when I was looking for work again, is that everything I do revolves around the knowledge of, the sale of, the production of this one thing. Yeah. This one thing that basically barely exists anymore.
You got to diversify.
I know. And I don't know. I used to be so cranky with my mom and dad when they would be like, I don't, they got laid off in their like late 50s, and it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I don't know how to find a job. I'm like, you can do anything. You're still alive. You're still young, blah, blah, blah. I had all these opinions, and now I'm like, fuck, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, who's going to hire you, especially like when you're in your late 50s? A lot of places, they're like, do I want to hire and train someone who's going to retire in a couple of years?
I don't know what to do at 41. Like, I truly don't. Like, if I shift now, that's got to be like a thing I shift to bigly.
Yeah.
To use my president's term.
Yeah.
Bigly. I got to, because I don't know what I have to learn something. If I'm going to learn it, I probably want to do it for a while.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of trade. It'd be nice to have a trade you could. I just don't know what trade I would do.
Dude, one of the things I realized is a trade actually is like AV.
Yeah.
Like installing.
But I don't really have that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I get those jobs all the time where I'm like, I would interview, but then they'd be like, okay, can you use a blah, blah, blah system? And I'd be like,
Dude, I did an interview for an AV job.
Oh, man.
And I really, really thought like, I do AV for work, but it's very specialized, very particular to the one place that I do it. And dude, I had no clue. I was dead in the water. Like, it was an internet. It was also one of those annoying new processes where it's like, yeah, we're making it easier. You can just interview on your own time. So just hold your phone up and look into a thing that has no follow-up questions and just answer the one question prompt that we're going to give you within 30 seconds of us giving it.
So dehumanizing.
It's so dehumanizing. And like, it also kind of takes away your ability to fudge through an interview.
Yeah.
Because like, it did ask me, like, what would you do with a something send?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I fucking don't know.
Yeah.
But if you were in front of me, I could maybe try and futz around with it.
Yeah,
Like, oh, well, it wouldn't be my necessarily right off the tip. It's not necessarily my great specialties, but, I'm always willing to work with people.
You just say, like, I'd unplug it and plug it back in.
Dude, I did. I basically said that. Let's start with the easiest thing. I would just reset the systems.
They're like, you reset our systems, the whole thing goes down. These can never be unplugged.
Why do you think there's no water? We're constantly running and cooling these goddamn systems. Yeah, dude, it's not good.
Yeah.
But I mean, there also are weird trades that I never thought of that. Like art handling.
Oh my God. I have the best art handling story of all time. We have a friend who does art handling, but man, okay. Art handling story. I'm not going to give anything away because this is highly illegal, but we knew someone who they were like basically a truck driver that specialized in moving expensive art from museum to museum. And this is like Picasso's and Rembrandt's and like famous, expensive. It's like millions of dollars. You have to be certified. It's like, I almost like driving a Brinks truck or something, but he's just a dude like us who just has a job, like a working class guy, and he likes to have some fun. And his big thing is when he stops, he'll like open up the back of his truck and pull out these paintings and take a picture of his nutsack next to it. And he was showing on his phone like his nutsack next to like the Scream.
Oh my God, dude. That is
every famous painting you can think of, his nuts have been on.
That's amazing. People are great. People are so great. It's so heartening to hear.
Yeah. One day, they're going to be like the Louvre, like pulling out like a Matisse, and there's going to be like a nut smudge on it.
It's a fucking pube that they have the money to do the DNA on. Well, I was doing it for the environment. I was trying to make a point. Climate change is real.
They're like, oh, wow, yeah, you should get your own gallery showing.
That is true. I could see that. I could definitely see. What was that Daniel Clowes movie, the Art School Confidential?
Oh, yeah, man. I haven't thought of the tampon in the teacup.
Tampon in the art criticism as the sub genre of movies.
Yeah.
The goofing on self-serious, like postmodern art movement movies. They're all so fucking funny, and then all Biff the Landing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is about, like, oh, we have to add... It's not funny enough or interesting enough to just riff on this. We also have to add some version of something much bigger that happens.
Yeah.
Like Velvet Buzzsaw. Do you remember that one?
No.
It was like a long-forgotten... One of the early, like, big Netflix movies that came out. It was the guy who made Michael Clayton. It was his follow-up. And they bought it, and I can see why they bought it, because it like no one else probably wanted it.
Yeah.
It was like a very striking, good critique of the art world that then turns into a supernatural murder mystery. An Art School Confidential murder mystery. It sucks. What was the one? What was the Neil LaBute one?
About art school?
It was like an art. It was so cruel.
Wait. It was about the art project with Paul Rudd?
Yeah, the Paul Rudd one. That one was good.
Yeah, that one was dark. But
so dark.
Yeah.
The
Shape of Things?
Shape of Things.
Yeah.
It bums me out. Although as I get older, I have...
Was it Helena Bonham Carter? Who was the woman?
It was
like sort of a goth, dark
Who
character.
was that? Yeah. Was it...
Or no, it wasn't her. I thought it was Amelie. Maybe.
No, it wasn't Amelie.
Who the fuck was it? Maybe she just looked like her. She had dark hair.
I feel like it's that Canadian woman.
Rachel Weisz, maybe? No.
Was it Rachel Weisz? I think it was, yeah. I think it was Rachel Weisz.
Oh, okay.
Neil LaBute. Where is... Give me the gosh darn... Yeah. Neil LaBute.
What year was that? Because I saw it when it was in theaters.
2003.
Wow, I saw that.
That's an old movie. Yeah, it was Rachel Weisz, yeah.
Okay.
And Gretchen Mol.
Yeah.
Okay. I've kind of made my peace now with, like, I'm starting to realize that life is very long and people go through very different things, and sometimes you're inspired, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you have interests when you're young that are not your interests when you're old. And I'm finding much more forgiveness for people who had a short burst of great creativity that never find it again. And the trilogy of Neil LaBute movies are probably unwatchable in 2025 without a big caveat, but they're also great, and he'll never make anything good again, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, he did 3 movies, and then he did like Wicker Man.
Yeah, he did Wicker Man and Lakeview Terrace, I think.
Yeah.
He's done a bunch of like kind of right-leaning, provocative kind of what if racism was against white people? It sucks, but Shape of Things was so good.
Yeah.
And In the Company of Men was also so good.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because there's like I almost feel like early 2000s, the whole, like, there's almost a movement in pop culture just about being shocking, where usually it was in like these shocking comedies of like Freddy Got Fingered and Jackass was coming out, and everything was about like being in your face. And like, I feel like even in the indie movies, even though it was in more of like an intellectual way, it was still about like, got you, isn't that fucked up?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it was also the time of like the French ooh, that was weird.
I just stopped my foot. There's no earthquake.
Oh, weird. I feel like my voice popped in the mic, but the French shock cinema too. Like,
that too.
Like all that shit came out around the same time. I don't know if it was like, I wonder what it was. Like maybe it was it'd be interesting to think about, or maybe it was the dealing with the fact that we are entering into a never-ending war. I guess France was too.
Yeah, 9/11,
like they went
baby.
to Iraq.
Yeah,
maybe that's what I have no idea. But
French and Iraq having fucking baguettes over there,
dude. I was thinking about. We were talking about it at work the other day. It's like almost uniformly French pastry just like kicks the shit out of all other pastry. Like I was thinking about like because a friend at work was saying how like he likes them, but they had those black and white cookies.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He was just like, I grew up with it. I like Jewish pastries, but like they're just all dry and flavorless.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, kind of Italian pastry is the same. Like, it really is just like French and maybe like Hungarians or Austrians.
Yeah. Yeah, the French, like, they just like put a lot of fucking butter in their stuff.
And that's good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah. I do like a black and white cookie, though. But
I don't hate me.
Yeah.
Could not stand. I had it for the first time.
Oh, really?
And maybe it was a bad one.
Yeah.
They probably were just from Trader Joe's. So they might just be bad. But, dude, I hated it.
Yeah. Those were not. Well, first off, even the size. Usually they're like twice the size.
Yeah.
They're like giant normally when you get them. And no. Get one at Cantor's and then you can judge.
Yeah. Maybe I will shoot over to Cantor's.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the great things that I had not thought about in having like a life partner.
Yeah.
Brother, you can split any meal you want.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can just go to a nice restaurant and then split a meal and not spend a ton of money.
That's one big bonus of having a partner. I would say the other big bonus of having a partner is weddings and events. Because normally if you're going solo, you're going to get seated probably around strangers and stuff, and it's going to be kind of awkward.
Yeah.
If you're with a partner, you already immediately have one person you can talk to.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice fail safe.
Seated next to you, guaranteed.
Yes, 100%. Although there was a weird configuration at my table.
Yeah.
Just because a couple opted not to sit either next to each other or across from each other.
What?
They created
That's ruining the entire table dynamic.
They created a diagonal.
What?
Yeah, construction, and it did create a little funkiness at the table.
What?
Yeah, very strange.
A third option. I didn't even know there was a
diagonal option.
Diagonal.
And I feel like you can only pull that off. These people are not this way, but you could only pull that off if you've been married for like 50 years. Like if you're just so tired of the person.
Yeah.
In the more traditional sense of married 50 years.
Yeah,
like the sitcom version of it. Well, Tim Allen hates his wife.
Yeah, maybe they were being like all avant-garde, like reinterpreting sitting at a table.
Reinterpreting seating dynamics.
We're troubling seating dynamics.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude. I just totally, my brain just flattened.
I didn't realize you guys had a mirror here.
Brother, this mirror is, you're the first person to see it. This is probably 30 minutes before you got here.
Whoa!
I was about to take a shower and
definitely does
we had
the
to
trick.
hang the mirror first.
Does the trick of adding, makes it feel like a bigger apartment.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, how many bananas you guys have? 12 bananas? Oh.
There's a whole other room full of bananas.
You guys go crazy with these bananas.
You guys are bananas for these bananas. It gives all angles of the apartment a view of the hill to our other side.
Oh, yeah.
Of the trees. It was a good. I like it.
They chop down all of your trees.
Yeah, so I have this obsession with throwing failing old rotten fruit over the balcony and into this little area between. We live on a hill. Yeah, and so there is at the bottom of the hill there are houses, and at the top of the hill there's this apartment complex. But on the deep decline, there's nothing because you can't build something in between. Yeah. So I'd always throw fruit and veggies over there in the hope that if, I guess, we had a major earthquake, maybe a orange tree had grown by that time. I mean, I don't know what I wanted. Or to feed the fucking skunks.
See, I used to throw oranges down there for a much meaner reason. I would go do that, throw things down there because they're at the bottom of the hill. When I lived here, I would sometimes be trying to sleep, and I would hear this dog go, "Roo, roo," and you can't see it from the street. But I was in someone's backyard down there, and I was like, I would throw stuff down there just hoping to hit it.
I have to not talk about that dog in person with people because people, it's like the same reason Steven Spielberg in Jurassic Park 2, the dog runs away from the T-Rex, but a bunch of people get eaten.
Yeah.
I will just flatly unlovingly say, like, I fucking hate that dog. I would shoot that dog in the head.
Dude, I'm a dog lover, and then when that thing was going on, I couldn't sleep. I literally was going down that hill, going up and down that street, ready to murder a dog.
Yeah, grab a hatchet.
Fully ready.
We're going dog hunting.
Yes.
But I just don't understand what you get out of owning a dog.
Yeah.
If you're the owner of that dog. It is this horrifying it's louder for you, right? Yeah. You're in your house unless you've completely soundproofed your house. I know, exactly. Like what do you do in your house that you don't hear your dog going ruff, 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 ruff all fucking night long? 3:00, maybe it stops.
Yeah.
Every single night.
They knew they were doing something wrong because I literally one time, it was night after night after night, and finally I did go down there and I was going to go knock on someone's door and tell them to put their dog in right now. And it was like I hear the dog barking, and as I'm like going up and down towards houses trying to find it, all of a sudden I hear a dog get pulled in because I feel like they knew.
They knew. They could see it coming. There is thankfully a hero who lives down there now.
Yeah.
Who screams "shut up" at the dog.
Oh.
So every time the dog barks, there's a chaser of "shut up, shut up, shut up."
Oh, my neighbors do that. There's like 3 little yappy dogs, and then my neighbor adds the "shut up."
Your yappy neighbor dogs are so loud.
I hate those
For
dogs.
Little tiny dogs, I cannot believe how much noise they make.
They really do, and I'm so used to them that I tune them out. But when people come stay with us, I can tell there's the first day where they're like, "Oh, it's a nice guest room," but those fucking terrible dogs next door.
Are loud.
They did get a new puppy, but it's not one of the yappy ones.
Yeah,
and actually, their puppy it's like a bulldog who's very cute, and I sometimes go to try and pet the bulldog, then those little yappy fuckers get in my way.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's high controversy in our building because there was a person who had the permit to have a care dog. I don't remember what you call them.
Yeah.
Help dog.
Yeah.
But they
Snoop Dogg.
A Snoop Dogg. But they got kicked out of the apartment.
Oh.
They got into, I guess, a nearly violent fight with their mother.
Whoa.
And their mother kicked them out of the apartment.
Whoa.
So now the mother has this dog that she can't have anymore.
Oh.
And so they're trying to get her to get rid of it, the property management.
Whoa.
And they keep putting notes on the doors saying, like, we're enacting these rules, and like if the dog barks after 9 and all this stuff. It's very, very insane. I don't really have
not a very good helper dog. If the whole point of the dog is to calm this guy down, he's going to beat his mom's ass.
He's going to beat his mom's ass, and then he leaves the dog.
The dog just barks all the time. Yeah.
It was very insane. There's like a building wide group text, and we left the apartment building to go get a piece of pizza, and we were gone probably 5 minutes before we got about 50 texts that, like, the second we left, there was a building spanning fight. Police were here. Whoa. It was crazy. The mom kicked the son out, like
Jeez.
all this stuff. Like, and I never had any experience with him other than he does play Call of Duty loudly and angrily. But I don't think that's an indicator of anything.
I mean, wasn't the whole point? I remember the story was he was a veteran who used the dog to help him deal with his PTSD. So maybe you shouldn't be sitting there like reenacting shooting people in the face.
I know. Right. Just play fucking Rystar or whatever.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Fucking Stardew Valley. Start a little digital farm.
That would be nice for him.
Yeah.
That would be a helpful thing for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't need play our game.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
be a voice. We don't know.
And sign an NDA. So yeah. What a fucking journey this building has been on.
It's true.
You guys need to do a new Melrose Place here.
We're in a new. Well, it was funny because there was this. This was funny. They're doing some major improvements, including reinforcing the handrails everywhere. and that requires them to use a concrete drill, a concrete saw to saw into the concrete, and then reinforce and saw into the metal. So they have been drilling and sawing all day long, and it's so loud and it's so obnoxious. And then they had the audacity to give us this note that says from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Well, they actually said from 9 p.m. to 9. No, yeah, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That was they did it wrong.
Yeah.
They said from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. is quiet hours.
Yeah.
So you can't make any noise.
Yeah.
But the day after that, I get up to go to
At
work.
9 p.m. you started partying.
As soon as 9 p.m. hits, I'm kicking the doors down. I'm listening to White Snake. Yeah. But then the next day, they start sawing at 8:35. And I'm looking at my clock.
Yeah.
And then the day after that, they start sawing at 8:35, and I lose it. And I call the property management, and I'm furious. And I'm like, so if I have to abide by 9 a.m., blah, 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 like, this is insane. And they're using leaf blowers all day, and blah, blah, blah. And then the next day, I get a note that moves the time up to 8 a.m. Fucking asshole.
Oh my God.
I have no power.
I love when people have network style breakdowns.
Yeah.
I had a weird one the other day where every so often I log into Facebook just to see where it's at now.
Yeah.
And it's all just really poorly made AI for boomers, which I've already talked about on this podcast, but it was bothering me so much that it was like these clearly fake images of like a soldier who looks like a fucking plastic doll, and it was like, support our troops, and everyone's like, thank you for your service, and it was one day I snapped and I replied to every single one, that's not a real image, that's AI, that's not a real image, that's AI, to every single person. And I actually got responses back that said, who cares, I don't care.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not what I expected.
Yeah.
Not what I expected.
Yeah.
Dude, that has been even, like, I know there's like the old people ones that you were talking about, and I've seen the troop ones too.
Yeah.
And I've only recently started seeing the I've also seen the ones like, remember how people used to do like pencil sketches of like, this is what Jimi Hendrix would look like in two.
Now they have AI.
But now they have AI ones where they're like still rocking and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've actually started to see reverse ones, which makes me think that young people are either getting on Facebook again or the platforms, or it's just like there is this need in the boomer culture to see that people are still reproducing.
Yeah.
Because I've started to see like smart baby ones or look at baby's first steps, and it's like clearly a computer image of a baby running like Sock the Hedgehog. like insane, dude.
Baby's first slam dunk.
Yeah. Dude, my baby is so smart. It already can make very complicated recipes.
My baby can throw a javelin.
Yeah, dude, it is. I've like rethought everything I used to think about AI in the past few months. And I keep Teslaing between like, it's completely useless, it's a fad, it's going to go away, and then no, it's like here to stay and it's horrible. But I just saw the other night the AI videos of like where they finally done voice and it's all together.
I've seen
and
some
it's
of those.
like I'm about to. It's all like the people that create these things are so uncreative that the AI itself is just acting out YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm about to jump into a lava pit.
Yeah.
You know. And it actually chilled me. Like I'm like done now. I think I'm pulling out of AI.
I saw some fun videos that were just really bizarre, almost experimental, where the camera is just spinning in circles and new people are like generating. It's in like a shitty laundromat, and it does definitely look like it's only trained on like YouTube videos from the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And so that was like a cool experiment. Honestly, the place I've landed on with AI is, for like the first couple of years it was out, like everyone was like, it's going to replace all artists. And now that I've like really used it, I'm like, oh, it's a remix machine.
Yeah.
Like everything it does inherently is remix.
Right.
It can't make anything new because new art comes from like processing your life and your memories and your experience into art.
Yes.
AI can't do that.
Right.
It can remix art in cool, interesting ways, but that's all it'll ever be is a remix.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is a pretty fair assessment. And my hope is that when money is involved, somebody would rather pay a human than to pay the billionaire who runs the AI machine, the remix machine.
Well, as of now, too, like, they're actually still kind of expensive to use legally. Like, so, I don't know, maybe the price will come down, but, like, dude, the water consumption that they have and shit like that, I don't know.
It's grim, dude.
Yeah.
It's very grim.
They were saying, like, OpenAI was going to be using more water than, like, certain countries in the next couple of years.
That's fantastic. They better learn how to use salt water. Is all I can say. Get a couple toothbrushes and clean those pipes there, fellas. Jesus.
Yeah, but I mean, I can show you some. I get weird. I get invites for the first, or it's like the Tribeca AI Film Festival.
Oh wow.
I'm like, what do you do when you win? Like, wow, you hell of a prompt that you put in there.
Dude, that was a real disappointing part of the. You know what? I'm gonna back off.
What?
I'm gonna back off. You know, once in a while I start to tell a story that I know we're gonna have to cut, so I'll just not tell it.
Okay. Is it a People's Joker related?
No, it's not people's joke.
Oh.
It's actually just talking shit on something that could imperil my job. So
oh shit! I gotta say though, I was happy when we did voices for this video game that they still use voices and they don't just use AI.
Right.
Although it makes sense because something that like AI people don't talk about is the fact that you can get good results. It's just you have to do 50 different iterations and tweaking and then throw away all and hide. Like what you see of the good stuff, usually there's like 100 throwaways.
Right.
Like I was actually kind of influenced by Luce because Luce has been doing funny comics recently.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wonder if you can just give some comic ideas to ChatGPT and have it make a comic for you. And you would think a comic, like a 3-panel comic strip, is not too hard for ChatGPT to do. Too hard. It couldn't even have, like, I was trying to have it do ones, and it couldn't even consistently have the same characters frame to frame.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also like, it's interesting because it does this very particular kind of shitty version of a like Adrian Tomine or Daniel Klaus, like that kind of like strong line work or Chris Ware.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like a much shittier version.
Way shittier, yeah.
But way shittier.
Yeah. 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 So we'll see. But yeah, they're still using real voices for video games. It's funny, I see an ad also online for like, it's trying to sell you to sign up for like their AI voice thing, and it'll be like, it's the worst commercial because they use AI voices in it and you realize how bad they are, where it's just like, need a voice for your video? Do you need narration? Like everything's a question.
Yes. Yeah, they don't, the voices like, and I'm sure they'll get there, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like funny to me to think about too, is like, we're going to be the ones, because we couldn't do a fucking British accent, we're going to be the ones that put them over the edge. It's like, you know what? Let's just get an AI British guy.
We had a lot of complaints from England.
Too offensive.
If there's one group of people I'm okay offending, it's the English.
I actually, that's another foot in my mouth moment where I always have, I've been on razor's edge ready to go on a British people rant almost at any time of any day.
And it's hard because they kind of look like us.
Right. I know. That's the thing. They were
never know when they're
one was
us.
embedded by me.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was going on the rant, and then
you couldn't even smell like the baked beans on their breath. The blood pudding they had just eaten. Honestly, weirdly, sometimes, have you ever had this where you can, before they say anything, you can tell the person's British just because of their haircut? There's certain haircuts that like only British guys get.
Yes.
Like have you seen the haircut that the Oasis guys have now? Only British people have them.
I gotta look this
It's
up.
almost like a hipster mullet or something. I don't know what you would call it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're basically almost in Oasis time now.
Oh, yeah?
It's going to be the story of the summer, I think.
Well, also, Oasis fired Ringo's son I don't know if you heard about that. Ringo's son was hired by, or he was 20 years he was in The Who. He got fired, rehired, fired 2 weeks later, finally gave up and went over to Oasis, got fired 2 weeks later.
No shit,
So
really?
now I'm like, is it a him problem? What is he doing?
Well, you know what? That's the issue, dude. It's nepotism doesn't make you drum better.
Yeah, your dad drummed. I don't give a fuck. What have you done?
I used to fuss around my dad's cymbals.
I can't believe The Who are still going.
It's insane. At a certain point, all that's left is 50% of the band is pedophiles.
I know,
at this point.
yeah.
Like, just be done with it.
I know, especially like...
They got lucky, though. They lost, like, the lesser essentials.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like drummer, bassist.
Yeah.
No offense to drummers and bassists.
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird, too, because, like, especially when your songs are like, hope I die before I get old. And you're like 80.
You're touring at 85. Like,
Yeah.
give it a rest.
And you're like singing songs about like wanting to like go on your date and like fuck women. You like haven't been able to come in 10 years.
Dude, that's always, I mean, I've made this observation before, but it is like there's outside of being wealthy, it is a cruel fate to be such a big band that still or need that in yourself that you have to go out and read fucking poetry from 65 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it just sucks, dude.
Dude, some people can't even make it last. Like, fucking Guns N' Roses are a 20 years younger band, and I was watching videos of him trying to perform. You were talking about fucking, what's his name, Echo and the Bunnymen can't sing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Guns N' Roses, his, like, voice is so shot, he can barely make sound. He's like, sounds like a siren.
Dude, that's a band, no clue how big they were.
Yeah.
I just realized that they were like maybe the biggest band in the world for a short period.
Dude, I saw a photo of when they were releasing, I think, Appetite for Destruction in '88, and it was like someplace on Melrose did on their like a record store did a gigantic statues of Slash and Axl Rose, and I was like, I don't think I would have liked it here if I lived here during the 80s. Like when the hair metal thing was going on, like the fact that was what was cool, like that just, I would have not had a good time at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I guess there was like a punk scene. But.
Right. I think we probably would have liked, I'm obsessed with this. This is another tangent. Sorry. I'm obsessed with what you call, and I don't think anybody's coined a term that's descriptive enough. Like, I think it's sometimes called college rock or whatever. But what you call what happened on the West Coast in post-punk. It's because it's not post-punk in a British sense. It's not post...
I know what you're talking about.
But it's like... it's much more punk-infused, and it's not even totally West Coast. Like, Devo, I feel like, fits more in with Wall of Voodoo and Oingo Boingo, and that type of, like...
But you're talking like early 80s, right?
Yeah.
Because late 80s, LA switched over and it became alternative funk rock. Because then it was like Jane's Addiction, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Faith No More.
Oh, right. Boy, you're right. That would have been grim, dude.
Yeah.
If your choices were hair metal or Faith No More. Jeez, dude.
Those are like, Faith No More was the alternative.
I have tried probably every 9 months to listen to a Jane's Addiction record. It'll never work.
Oh, dude, I got it. It worked for me.
It worked?
Yeah. There was like maybe 6 months ago, Ritual Day Habitual, I clicked with. I was into it.
I love the song Coming Down the Mountain.
Yeah.
The mountain song.
Yeah. That one's on there. It's good.
It's never connected.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised because you like Dave Navarro and that's all him.
It's my favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers album. Is the one that he did, but it just didn't. It'll never happen.
Porno for Pyros, anything?
I do like.
Okay.
The second Porno for Pyros album, I think, is really good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about I didn't do 90s month this year.
Yeah.
That's the era of music I remember the best.
Yeah.
It's like when music clicked for me.
Yeah.
And it had like the cool moment where like David Geffen signed every fucking Butthole Surfers band.
Yeah.
And, but it also had that shitty like fastball type of adult alternative.
Actually, like the alternative, weirdly, it was called college rock. Then it was turned into the alternative charts. And strangely, the first number one on the alternative charts as they existed was Susie and the Banshees' Peekaboo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How
in like
strange.
88. And then like it switched and then just became all grunge. There was a time early on in the alternative renaissance where like it was actually really good for women in music because more people were more open-minded, especially compared to the 80s. And like for like a 4-year period, the doors open and all like Alanis Morissette and Jewel and all the Lilith Fair people came through. And there was finally women who on the radio for a little bit and Cannonball by the Breeders.
Yeah.
And then like it just closed again and then turned into new metal.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
New metal time, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot connect. I'm excited to note that the new metal revival is almost over.
Yeah.
That young people are now wearing skinny jeans again.
They are?
Yes.
It's already almost over. I
Yeah.
saw some Jinkos the other day.
Yeah. But they're 30.
Yeah.
If they're in Jinkos, they're 30.
Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't think
young
about
people are back on skinny jeans. They're listening to the Strokes.
Yeah, okay.
They've made it out the other side.
Oh, Julian Casablancas isn't getting into a pair of skinny jeans anytime soon.
Oh my God.
I love that story you told about how he has a special chin light.
It
works because every time I see him, I'm like, wait, does he have a second chin? It's hidden very well.
Yeah.
He has it better than Michael Moore.
He barely has a gullet. Yeah. Yeah. Although for the first time, but probably 2 years ago, I started to get a little more I got more forgiving of new metal.
Okay.
I think there was, the radio hits tended to be fairly like misanthropic, kind of sexist, you know, whatever. But a lot of the stuff, there's some good stuff in there. There's some good chuggers. Like I liked 20 Dead Flower Children.
Okay.
Certain Corns.
Okay,
I got into. System of a Down, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's those other like kind of got roped into like Deftones got roped into new metal. They're arguably more emo even.
Yeah. It's also at the point where saying to a new metal fan, if you say like, yeah, I like new metal like System and Deftones, that's like the equivalent of saying like, you know, I like all music besides rap and country.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I listened to, I was like stuck in traffic in that way where you're moving just enough where you can't like look at your phone.
Yeah.
But you can touch your phone.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to flip the music. And so I was like, whatever it's recommending for me.
Yeah.
But it was like recommending Converge and artists related to Converge.
Oh, no.
And so I found myself stopping on the last At the Drive-In album.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing to reflect on how important that band was to me now. And like, I'll never be able to hear it the way I heard it. It just doesn't work.
No.
Like, I don't think they sound good.
Yeah.
The voice is annoying.
Yeah.
The lyrics are nonsensical, silly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it did for me then. And I can only all I can take out of it is a sense of nostalgia. It doesn't work in any other way. It's very strange.
Yeah.
The fact that I just like would go to concerts and cross my arms and stand.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me now. And like, yeah, I was so fervently against like movement in any way at all.
You got to be a fucking pole, buddy.
Yeah, movement. I don't like slam dancing. I don't like sensual dancing. I don't like any. I was like John Lithgow going to these goddamn concerts. The no fun era.
Yeah, that was a rough era.
I was also like, I actually told the story proudly that I went to see the Get Up Kids with my then girlfriend, and I thought it was magnanimous of me to be like, I hate this music, so if you want to go have fun and dance and stuff, I'll hold your purse.
Yeah.
And like, I told that story as if like it made me some sort of great feminist to be like, actually the thing you like sucks.
I will say though, that was a girlfriend who basically abused you. So
yeah, she was horrible. So.
I don't know.
It's all fine.
Yeah.
It all came out in the wash.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you were a feminist ally because you didn't run for your life when she threw a Pyrex at you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that is all true.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we cut out?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. Yeah, we did it.
We did it. It's done. We just we have a new video that'll probably go online because we just shot something for Vertical Film Festival, the first Vertical Film Festival.
Yeah, a big fun time. I guess we were both working and couldn't go.
I know. I heard that our video got a good reaction though.
Yeah, good reaction.
And we're filming some stuff at HLP TV. I got a bit that our friend Scott Huntsman has launched a very overarching concept called Sperm Wars, and I have an idea that fits within the extended Sperm Wars universe. So look out for that.
Look for that.
That's the new Dark Universe. Sperm Wars.
Sperm Wars universe. Universal Sperm Wars universe. Look for that, and if you have the temerity, the tenacity, and you want to watch Chien Blaze of Fury,
all 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. It's there for the taking.
Yep, it's on YouTube. So throw it on. You'll be haunted by Chien. A spirit will come to you, and
she'll say, "Sign up for Patreon.com/loose-lips for bonus episodes."
And also, go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself. I wish that would happen.
They're dicks with opinions. Now let's end the show.